When a higher power selects a human for the betterment of this world, that person shines completely differently. If you ever felt so hard to fit in, it's not just a coincidence. What if everything you've been through was preparing you for a higher purpose, something only you can do? In this video, you will receive the answers you have always searched for. Here are the 9 clear signs you're a chosen one. Sign 1. You have a deep connection to authenticity. This is the first sign that you're not just like everyone else. You have an unshakable connection to your true self. You cannot help it. No matter how much you try to go along with the crowd, no matter how often you silence yourself to avoid standing out, your soul pulls you back toward what is real. You have probably noticed it in the small things, like how fake smiles and forced conversations leave you drained, while deep, honest exchanges light you up. Or how you can spot insincerity from a mile away. It is like having a sixth sense. When someone says one thing but means another, you feel it in your gut, as though their words are clashing with some invisible truth only you can see. Imagine this: you are sitting with a group of friends, everyone is laughing and joking, but you notice that one quiet friend. Let's call her Sarah, who does not speak much. She smiles when prompted and nods when someone speaks, but her eyes betray her. You can sense her discomfort without her opening up about anything. Most people would not notice. They would take her polite responses at face value, but not you. You feel the heaviness she is carrying, even if when she has not said a single word. This is not just empathy. It's your connection to the truth, your ability to dig deep and know more than what just meets the eye. For you, authenticity isn't just a value, it is your compass. It guides you, even when it is inconvenient, even when it isolates you. You cannot bring yourself to laugh at a joke you do not find funny or agree with something you do not believe. It is not stubbornness, it is something deeper than that. However, here is a thing about authenticity. It does not come without a cost. You've probably noticed how your honesty sometimes unsettles people, like the time you called out a coworker for taking credit for someone else's work, and the room went silent. Or when you refused to go along with a lie because it did not sit right with you, even though it would have been easier to stay quiet. In those moments, you might have wondered if you were too much, if your unwillingness to compromise was a weakness. Remember, it is not a weakness. Being a voice in a world where everyone else is a mere echo bothers a lot, but it is a superpower. The world we live in does not always reward truth. It rewards compliance. It rewards those who follow the script and who say what they are supposed to say without even thinking. The people who always agree and do not have their own opinion. The thinking mind cannot act that way. On top of that, the rational mind hates to do that. This is one of the hardest parts of being chosen, the loneliness of standing apart. Think back to a time when you disagreed with the group. Maybe it was something small, like refusing to laugh at a cruel joke, or something bigger, like challenging a belief that everyone else seemed to accept without question. Remember the way they looked at you, the silence that followed? There was a subtle shift in the air as they realized you were not like them, and their attitude changed after that. It hurt, didn't it? To feel the weight of their judgment, the sting of their rejection, but you did not back down. Even when it would have been easier to go along with the crowd, you stayed true to yourself. When you live in truth, you permit others to do the same. Think about it. How many times have people opened up to you, confessing things they have never told anyone else? How many times have your honesty and vulnerability inspired someone to take off their own mask? You might not realize it, but your ability to live authentically is like a ripple in a pond. It spreads, touching lives you may never even know about. But authenticity isn't just about what you give to others, it's also about what you discover in yourself. Living authentically forces you to confront the parts of yourself you would rather ignore. The fears, the insecurities, the wounds you have buried deep. It is not easy. Sometimes it feels like peeling back layers of armor, only to realize you are standing bare and vulnerable. But it is in that vulnerability that you find your strength. It is in facing your truth that you begin to uncover your purpose. Have you ever looked in the mirror, not to fix your hair or check your outfit, but really wondered to look inside yourself, to see yourself stripped of pretense, to confront the questions you have always been avoiding? Am I living the life I want? Am I being true to who I am? These moments are hard, but they are also where the magic happens. Because when you are honest with yourself, when you embrace the truth of who you are, you start to see the path forward. Authenticity is not always easy, but it is worth it. Because the more you align with your truth, the closer you get to the life you were meant to live. So if you have felt the pull of authenticity, if you have found yourself unable to settle for less than what is real, remember, it is not a flaw. It is a sign that you are one of the few brave enough to live in truth. This is only the beginning. There are more signs waiting to be uncovered, more pieces of the puzzle that reveal your purpose. Stay with me, because the next sign might just change the way you see everything. However, before going into the second sign, hit the like and subscribe button if our video is solving your problems. Be part of our community, and let's make the world easy for chosen ones like you. Sign 2. An unrelenting desire for meaning. Have you ever felt that most people seem content with the life, with a steady job, predictable routines and familiar comforts? However, for you it isn't enough. Not because it's unimportant, but because it feels incomplete. For the chosen ones, this is not mere dissatisfaction, it's a call from within, an unrelenting pull toward meaning and purpose that refuses to be ignored. This inner yearning isn't about ambition in the conventional sense. It's not about wealth, fame, or status. It's about impact, leaving the world a little brighter, a little better, because you dared to follow your heart. But let's be clear, this pull toward meaning isn't always comfortable. It often feels like restlessness, a quiet dissatisfaction with the way things are. It's not a flaw or a problem to be fixed. It's a sign, a reminder that you are meant for more. For many chosen ones, restlessness acts as a catalyst. It whispers, "This isn't enough. There's more you're meant to do." And when you listen to that voice, incredible things can happen. While others might find comfort in predictability, mediocrity feels suffocating for the chosen. It's like trying to breathe in a room with no windows. You know there's fresh air outside, and you can't stop craving it. For the chosen, mediocrity isn't an option. The longing for depth and meaning propels them forward, even when the road is uncertain. When you feel the pull of purpose, exploration becomes second nature. This doesn't always mean traveling the world or taking dramatic risks. Often, it's about exploring ideas, passions, or possibilities that others overlook. Consider Mira, a middle-aged woman who had worked as an accountant for decades. On the surface, her life was stable and predictable, but deep down, she felt unfulfilled. One day, she stumbled across an article about local waterways polluted by industrial waste. Something clicked. Mira began volunteering for cleanup initiatives and learning about environmental advocacy. Eventually, she left her accounting job to work full-time with an environmental non-profit. She faced skepticism from friends and family who couldn't understand why she'd abandoned stability for uncertainty. But Mira knew she was answering a deeper call. Exploration requires courage. The courage to step into the unknown and trust that your inner compass will guide you. The remarkable thing about pursuing meaning is that its effects extend far beyond yourself. When you act from a place of purpose, you inspire others to do the same, even if you never see the impact firsthand. So how do you embrace this unrelenting desire for meaning? Start small. Pay attention to the things that spark curiosity or stir your emotions. What causes resonate with you? What ideas keep you awake at night? You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Begin where you are. Maybe it's volunteering for a cause you care about, starting a project you've been dreaming of, or simply reaching out to someone in need. The key is to take that first step, even if it feels small or uncertain. Remember that the pursuit of meaning isn't a straight path. It's a journey, one that requires patience and trust. There will be moments of doubt and challenges along the way, but every step brings you closer to your purpose. This pull toward meaning isn't just a gift, it's also a challenge. Because the chosen ones, those who feel this unrelenting desire, often face trials that others can't imagine. These challenges aren't random, they're part of your journey, shaping you and preparing you for something extraordinary. In the next section, we'll explore this deeper, a life of uncommon trials. These trials aren't obstacles, they're stepping stones, designed to forge resilience and clarity in your path. As we continue, reflect on how this sign resonates with your own life. Stay with me as we uncover the unique struggles that mark the path of the chosen ones and how they prepare you for the extraordinary purpose ahead. Sign 3. You live a life of many trials. For the chosen ones, life is rarely smooth or easy. From an early age, you may have noticed that challenges seem to follow you, sometimes in waves so overwhelming they feel impossible to endure. These struggles aren't random, they are part of the chosen path. They forge resilience, cultivate wisdom, and prepare you for a mission that only you can fulfill. Pain, while deeply uncomfortable, serves a purpose. It shapes you, sharpens your instincts, and strengthens your spirit. And though it may feel isolated in the moment, your trials are often the very thing that connects you to others, making you a guide and an inspiration. Imagine a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble. To the untrained eye, the process looks destructive, even harsh. But with each strike, the true masterpiece begins to emerge. This is how life's challenges work for the chosen. They are not meant to break you, they are meant to reveal you. We cannot forget the story of Arunachalam Muruganantham, a man from a small village in India. His wife's struggle with managing menstrual hygiene led him to discover the lack of affordable sanitary products for women in rural areas. The subject was taboo, and his community ridiculed him when he started working on a solution. He faced rejection, isolation, and even the loss of his social standing. But Arunachalam didn't give up. After years of trial and error, he created a low-cost sanitary pad machine that revolutionized menstrual hygiene for millions of women. Today, he's hailed as a pioneer who broke through cultural barriers to address a critical issue. His trials weren't just obstacles, they were stepping stones to his mission. When you're in the midst of hardship, it's natural to feel discouraged. But what if your pain is actually preparing you? What if the heartbreak, failure, or loss you've endured is laying the groundwork for something extraordinary? The Iron Lady Mariam, a woman who grew up in foster care and experienced a series of setbacks throughout her youth. She could have allowed these experiences to define her life as one of struggle. Instead, she used them as fuel to create change. Mariam went on to establish a foundation that provides mentorship and resources for children in the foster system, ensuring they have opportunities she never did. Her trials gave her a unique perspective and the empathy needed to guide others. This is the power of reframing pain. It allows you to see challenges not as punishments, but as preparation for a mission only you can fulfill. Every chosen one faces moments that test their resolve. These moments often feel like turning points, times when the weight of your challenges could easily pull you down. But it is in these moments that resilience is born. Remember the inspiration of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist who endured unimaginable suffering in concentration camps. Amidst the horror, he observed that those who found meaning in their suffering were more likely to survive. This insight became the foundation for his groundbreaking work in logotherapy, a form of psychotherapy that helps people find purpose even in the face of adversity. Frankel's resilience didn't come from avoiding pain. It came from enduring it and choosing to extract meaning from it. In his book, Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." This lesson applies to all the chosen ones. Challenges don't just shape your circumstances, they shape you. Though trials are difficult, they bring rewards that extend far beyond personal growth. When you persevere, you gain wisdom that can be shared with others. Your journey becomes a map for those who are still searching for their way. When you push through your trials, you're not just transforming your own life, you're lighting the way for others to follow. The most remarkable thing about facing uncommon trials is that they often turn you into a guide. Your struggles equip you with the empathy, strength, and wisdom needed to help others navigate their own challenges. Abdul Sattar Edhi was the epitome of humanity in the initial times of emerging Pakistan, the founder of the Edhi Foundation, one of the largest and most effective social welfare organizations in Pakistan and the world. Edhi grew up in poverty and witnessed immense suffering in his community. These experiences could have made him bitter or resigned, but instead, they inspired him to dedicate his life to serving others. Starting with a single ambulance, Edhi built a network that now provides free medical care, shelters, orphanages, and food services to millions. His own hardships gave him the compassion and determination needed to create lasting change. As a chosen one, it's crucial to remember that trials are not a sign of failure or punishment, they are part of your preparation. Every setback, every heartbreak, and every obstacle is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. When you feel overwhelmed, remind yourself of this: the strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. Your challenges are refining you, preparing you to fulfill a purpose that only you can achieve. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. Think about the trials you've faced and the lessons you've learned. How have they shaped you? What qualities have you developed because of them? The journey of the chosen is not just about enduring trials, it's about seeking truth. If you've ever felt an insatiable drive to understand the deeper meaning behind life's experiences, you're not alone. This brings us to the next sign, perhaps the rarest gift among all people, or can be a curse in this lifetime: the relentless search for truth. Sign 4. The thirst for truth never satisfies. For the chosen one, life is more than a series of events to be experienced. It is a puzzle waiting to be solved, a mystery yearning to be unraveled. The relentless search for truth is not a fleeting curiosity. It is a lifelong quest, driven by a deep desire to understand the essence of existence. This search often begins with a simple question: why? Why do things happen the way they do? Why do I feel this way? Why does the world operate in patterns that often feel misaligned with the heart's call for justice, love, and meaning? These questions lead the chosen into uncharted territory, places where conventional thinking falters and deeper truths await discovery. The search for truth is not a straight path, it is a spiral inward, a journey into the depths of one's own soul. Imagine it as peeling away the layers of an onion. With each layer removed, tears may fall and discomfort may arise, but beneath the layers lies something priceless, a core of unshakable clarity. This inner journey requires courage. It's about questioning beliefs you once held sacred, examining values inherited from others, and confronting the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore. Let's hear the story of Rabia al-Adawiyya, a mystic from 8th century Basra. Rabia's life began in hardship. She was orphaned and enslaved as a young girl. But despite her suffering, she embarked on a spiritual journey, seeking a deeper connection with the divine. Through meditation, prayer, and self-reflection, she reached a state of profound enlightenment, redefining love as a selfless devotion to truth. Her writings and teachings have inspired seekers for centuries. Rabia's journey illustrates a core truth. The search for meaning is often born from pain, but it transforms into a path of liberation. The chosen ones are rarely satisfied with surface-level explanations or societal norms. They see the cracks in the systems that others accept without question, and they feel compelled to dig deeper. Another striking example is Søren Kierkegaard, often regarded as the father of existentialism. Kierkegaard lived in 19th century Denmark, a society deeply rooted in tradition and conformity. Yet, he chose to challenge those norms, asking profound questions about faith, freedom, and individuality. His writings explore what it means to live authentically, rejecting superficial answers in favor of a deeply personal truth. Kierkegaard's work reminds us that the search for truth often means standing apart from the crowd. It requires the willingness to be misunderstood, even ridiculed, in the pursuit of something greater. For some, the search for truth takes them far from home, both physically and spiritually. History is filled with stories of individuals who left behind the familiar to embark on great pilgrimages. Think of Siddhartha Gautama, the man who would become known as the Buddha. Born into luxury, Siddhartha left his royal life in search of enlightenment. He renounced his wealth and privilege, living as an ascetic and exploring various spiritual practices. After years of sacrifice and introspection, he attained a state of profound understanding under the Bodhi tree. Buddha's story reminds us that the search for truth often demands sacrifices of comfort, certainty, and even identity. But the rewards of this quest are unparalleled: wisdom, peace, and a connection to the deeper rhythms of life. The relentless search for truth is as much about looking within as it is about understanding the world. It's about unraveling your own stories, questioning the narratives you've been told, and discovering who you are beneath the labels and roles society assigns. Consider the metaphor of a treasure chest buried beneath layers of earth. Each spadeful of dirt you remove represents an act of self-discovery, letting go of false beliefs, healing old wounds, and uncovering hidden strengths. The treasure isn't something external, it is the truth of your own essence, waiting to be revealed. One such modern-day seeker is Cheryl Strayed, who chronicled her journey of self-discovery in her memoir Wild. The movie is a classic example of how things can turn in your favor once you shed everything that is not you. After experiencing devastating personal losses, Cheryl embarked on a 100-mile solo hike along the Pacific Crest Trail. The physical journey mirrored her emotional and spiritual search, forcing her to confront her pain, fears, and vulnerabilities. Through this process, she found clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Her story illustrates that the search for truth is not about escaping your struggles, it's about meeting them head-on and finding strength on the other side. The search for truth is not a sprint, it is a marathon. There will be moments of doubt when the path seems unclear and the effort feels overwhelming. But for the chosen, giving up is not an option. The call to seek is too strong, the desire for understanding too profound. Take the story of Malidoma Patrice Somé, an African shaman and writer who grew up in the Dagara tribe of Burkina Faso. As a young boy, Malidoma was taken from his village and placed in a Jesuit mission, where he was separated from his culture and spirituality. After escaping as a teenager, he returned to his people and underwent rigorous initiation rites to reconnect with his heritage. Malidoma's journey to reclaim his truth wasn't easy, but it led him to become a bridge between his traditional culture and the modern world. His writings and teachings have brought the wisdom of his ancestors to a global audience. His story is a testament to the rewards of perseverance, the ability to not only find your own truth, but also share it in ways that uplift others. The relentless search for truth is not a solitary endeavor. While it begins within, its impact radiates outward, inspiring others to question, seek, and grow. Think of Rumi, the 13th century poet and mystic whose works have transcended time and geography. Rumi's poetry emerged from his own spiritual journey, a search for unity, love, and truth. Today, his words resonate with millions, guiding seekers toward their own understanding. When you embark on the search for truth, you don't just illuminate your own path, you become a light for others. Your willingness to question and seek inspires those around you to do the same, creating a ripple effect of awakening. The search for truth often sets you apart, making you feel like an outsider in a world content with surface answers. But this sense of otherness is not a weakness, it's a sign of your unique path. As we move forward, reflect on your own journey. What truths are you seeking? What layers are you peeling back to uncover the treasure within? Stay with me as we delve deeper into what it means to walk the path of the chosen. Sign 5. You always feel that you belong where you are. If you've ever felt like you don't belong, like the world you were born into doesn't quite fit, you're not alone. For the chosen ones, this sense of being an outsider is one of the clearest signs of a unique calling. It's not a flaw or a punishment, it's a marker of the extraordinary path you're meant to walk. From a young age, you may have noticed a subtle difference between you and those around you. Perhaps your thoughts didn't align with the norms of your family. Maybe your peers didn't share your interests or your questions about life. This feeling of otherness can be isolating, even painful. But beneath the loneliness lies a powerful truth. Being different means you are not bound by the limitations of conformity. Feeling like an outsider isn't just about being physically alone. It's a deeper kind of loneliness, the ache of knowing that others don't truly see or understand the world as you do. You may have experienced this at family gatherings, where your thoughts diverged from the collective sentiment, or perhaps in classrooms or workplaces, where your ideas seem to echo into a void. Hypatia of Alexandria felt no different from early childhood, a philosopher, astronomer, and mathematician in ancient Egypt. As a woman pursuing intellectual endeavors in a male-dominated society, Hypatia was often viewed as an outsider. Her revolutionary teachings and fearless questioning of societal norms set her apart. Despite the challenges, Hypatia's legacy endures as a beacon of knowledge and courage. The emotional impact of feeling like an outsider can weigh heavily, but it's important to remember that this difference is a gift, not a curse. It signals that your journey is one of exploration and innovation. For the chosen, being different is not a defect, it's a distinction. The very things that make you feel separate are often the qualities that lead to greatness. Visionaries and trailblazers throughout history have been outsiders. They questioned what others accepted, imagined what others could not, and dared to act when others hesitated. Take Miyamoto Musashi, one of Japan's most legendary swordsmen. Born into a warrior caste but orphaned as a child, Musashi lived as a wanderer, never fully accepted by samurai society. He spent years honing his skills in solitude, perfecting his art. Musashi's unconventional approach to combat and philosophy culminated in his masterwork, The Book of Five Rings, which continues to inspire leaders, martial artists, and strategists worldwide. Musashi's life exemplifies how feeling like an outsider can become a wellspring of strength. When you walk your own path, you develop a perspective and resilience that cannot be replicated. Feeling like an outsider often leads to periods of solitude, which can be both challenging and transformative. It is in these quiet moments, away from the noise of conformity, that the chosen have the opportunity to connect deeply with themselves. How can we forget a philosopher here who shook the foundations of contemporary good and evil where he born? Friedrich Nietzsche, who spent much of his life in isolation, grappling with ideas that would later transform Western thought. Nietzsche's concepts of the Übermensch, Overman, and the eternal return emerged from his time alone, wrestling with the questions that others dared not ask. Solitude is not the same as loneliness. While loneliness aches, solitude enriches. It allows you to hear your inner voice more clearly and to explore the depths of your mind and soul. The chosen often find their greatest insights and creative breakthroughs during these solitary periods. While solitude is valuable, the feeling of being an outsider can also be softened by finding your tribe, those rare individuals who see the world as you do. These connections may not come often, but when they do, they are profound and life-affirming. Imagine the relationship between Søren Kierkegaard, the existential philosopher, and Regine Olsen, his muse and one-time fiancée. Though their love story was complex and marked by Kierkegaard's choice to end their engagement, Regine remained a cornerstone of his intellectual and emotional life. Their connection was not conventional, but it reflected the deep understanding that can occur between kindred spirits. For the chosen ones, like-minded souls act as mirrors, reflecting and amplifying the truths you've discovered. These relationships remind you that while your path may be unique, you are never truly alone. When you embrace your identity as an outsider, you gain a kind of freedom. You're no longer bound by the need to conform or gain approval. Instead, you're empowered to forge your own way, guided by your inner compass rather than external expectations. Consider Joan of Arc, a young peasant girl who felt called to lead the French army during a time of despair. She was ridiculed, doubted, and ultimately martyred, but her unwavering belief in her mission altered the course of history. Joan's strength as an outsider allowed her to transcend her circumstances and fulfill her destiny. Your own strength may not lead armies, but it has the power to change lives, starting with your own. Feeling like an outsider can be lonely, but this loneliness is often temporary. As you progress on your journey, you'll find others who resonate with your perspective, your values, and your vision. Remember, even the greatest thinkers, warriors, and artists began as solitary figures. Their communities came later, drawn to the light they radiated through their work and their being. Your connections will come too, often when you least expect them. Feeling like an outsider is not the end of your story, it's the beginning of something remarkable. Your differences are not meant to isolate you permanently, but to prepare you for a role only you can fulfill. As you continue to walk this path, keep your heart open, be patient with yourself, and trust that the loneliness you feel now is clearing the way for profound connections and a purpose-driven life. This sense of being different often comes with another hallmark of the chosen ones, an innate drive to uplift others. The very experiences that make you feel like an outsider also give you the empathy and insight needed to guide, inspire, and elevate those around you. Sign 6, an inherent drive to uplift others. For the chosen ones, compassion is not just an entertaining thought, it is a profound calling. This drive to uplift others goes beyond altruism. It is a need deeply rooted in their essence. Whether through small gestures or transformative actions, the chosen seek to heal, support, and elevate, even when it demands sacrifice. This inherent desire is not about seeking recognition or rewards. It comes from an understanding that every act of kindness, no matter how small, ripples outward, creating positive change in ways often unseen. Compassion is the compass that guides the chosen through life's complexities. It's what compels them to step forward when others hesitate, to lend a hand even when it's inconvenient. Consider Jane Addams, a pioneer of social work in the United States and a co-founder of Hull House in Chicago. Born into privilege, Jane could have led a comfortable, insulated life. Instead, she dedicated herself to addressing poverty and inequality. Hull House became a hub for education, healthcare, and advocacy for underserved communities, profoundly impacting the lives of thousands. Jane's life reminds us that the chosen often see what others overlook. Her compassion wasn't just a response to suffering, it was a deliberate choice to confront systemic injustice and create solutions that lifted entire communities. While the drive to uplift others is a remarkable quality, it also comes with risks. The chosen ones can pour so much of themselves into helping others that they neglect their own well-being. Learning to balance compassion with self-care is essential for sustaining this role over the long term. Eleanor Roosevelt, the First Lady of the United States during a pivotal era, exemplified this balance. Known for her tireless advocacy for human rights, Eleanor worked on behalf of refugees, civil rights activists, and the disadvantaged. Yet, she also understood the importance of maintaining her own strength. Eleanor often retreated to the solitude of nature, journaling and reflecting to recharge her spirit. Her story illustrates that self-care is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of preservation. By nurturing yourself, you ensure that your compassion remains a wellspring, not a source of depletion. The chosen one understands that even the smallest acts of kindness can have profound consequences. A warm smile, a word of encouragement, or a helping hand can ripple outward, touching lives in ways you may never see. Take the example of Clara Barton, who founded the American Red Cross. Her journey began not with grand ambitions, but with simple acts of service, providing supplies and care to soldiers during the Civil War. Over time, these efforts grew into a movement that has saved countless lives. Clara's legacy is a testament to the power of small acts. Each choice to uplift another can set off a chain reaction, inspiring others to carry the light of compassion forward. Many chosen ones are born into challenging environments, surrounded by indifference, cruelty, or systemic injustice. Rather than succumbing to despair, they transform these experiences into fuel for their mission to uplift others. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, provides a powerful example. Diagnosed with polio at 39, Roosevelt faced immense physical and emotional challenges. Instead of retreating, he used his experience to connect with those who were suffering, fostering empathy that shaped his leadership. His compassion extended beyond rhetoric. It informed policies like the New Deal, which aimed to uplift the disenfranchised and restore dignity to millions. Roosevelt's story reminds us that adversity can deepen our capacity for compassion, enabling us to serve others in meaningful ways. Compassion has the power to bridge divides, heal wounds, and foster unity. When you uplift others, you're not just helping them, you're creating a bond that reinforces the shared humanity between you. Consider the life of Dorothea Dix, a 19th-century advocate for mental health reform in the United States. At a time when individuals with mental illnesses were often neglected or confined in inhumane conditions, Dorothea tirelessly campaigned for change. Her compassion led to the establishment of dozens of mental health facilities, transforming the care and treatment of vulnerable populations. Dorothea's work reminds us that kindness is not just an individual act. It's a force that can reshape entire systems, making the world a better place for generations to come. The chosen ones don't just uplift those they directly encounter, they inspire others to do the same. Compassion is contagious, and when you act from a place of care and generosity, you encourage others to follow suit. Consider John Muir, the naturalist and conservationist whose love for the wilderness led to the establishment of national parks in the United States. Muir's writing and advocacy didn't just protect the land, they inspired a movement that continues to resonate today. His passion for preserving nature stemmed from a profound compassion for both the earth and future generations. Muir's life demonstrates that uplifting others can take many forms. Whether you're advocating for people, animals, or the environment, your actions can ignite a chain reaction of positive change. Every act of kindness, no matter how small, has the potential to create ripples of transformation. When you uplift someone, you're not just affecting their life, you're influencing the lives of everyone they touch. Imagine a teacher who takes extra time to encourage a struggling student. That student, buoyed by newfound confidence, goes on to achieve great things, impacting their family, their community, and perhaps even the world. This is the power of compassion. Its effects multiply far beyond the initial act. This inherent drive to uplift others often comes with a unique sensitivity, a kind of intuition that allows the chosen to see beyond the surface and understand what others truly need. This intuitive ability isn't just a skill, it's a profound gift that guides the chosen through life's complexities. Sign 7. The world can be wrong, but your intuition is always right. For the chosen ones, intuition is more than a fleeting feeling. It is an unspoken language, a quiet force guiding them toward decisions, actions, and insights that others often miss. This inner knowing defies conventional logic, yet it has a remarkable ability to lead to transformative outcomes. This gift of intuition is not just a tool for navigating challenges, it's a cornerstone of the chosen path. Trusting it fully is an act of courage, one that unlocks the extraordinary potential within. Imagine intuition as a map imprinted on your soul. While it doesn't reveal every detail, it highlights the most critical turns, nudging you toward the right direction. For the chosen, this inner compass is a consistent companion, providing clarity in moments of uncertainty. Nikola Tesla, whose intuitive flashes of insight revolutionized science and technology. These ideas often came to him in moments of inspiration, complete visions of devices and systems that were decades ahead of their time. Tesla's trust in his intuition led to the development of alternating current, a cornerstone of modern energy systems, and countless other innovations that have shaped the modern world. One of the most remarkable aspects of intuition is its ability to see beyond the visible. It's the voice that says, "Go left," when the world says, "Go right." Trusting this voice isn't always easy, especially when it leads to decisions that challenge conventional wisdom. Marie Curie's journey exemplifies this trust. In her groundbreaking research on radioactivity, Curie pursued paths that others dismissed as impractical or overly ambitious. Her intuition guided her toward discoveries that not only earned her 2 Nobel Prizes, but also changed the trajectory of medical science. The chosen understand that intuition doesn't always come with explanations, but when followed, it has the power to open doors to profound breakthroughs. Life is rarely predictable, and the chosen often find themselves navigating uncharted territory. Intuition becomes their light in the fog, illuminating just enough of the path to move forward. Think about Alan Turing, who trusted his instincts when developing methods to crack the German Enigma code during World War II. His work, which many deemed impossible, not only shortened the war, but also laid the groundwork for modern computing. Intuition allows the chosen to move with confidence, even when the destination is unclear. It helps them find creative solutions to problems others view as unsolvable. A hallmark of intuition is its ability to align decisions with the right timing. It whispers when to act, when to pause, and when to trust that the universe is working behind the scenes. Rosalind Franklin, the scientist whose work was critical in uncovering the structure of DNA. Franklin's intuition about the importance of X-ray diffraction imaging allowed her to capture the photographs that would reveal DNA's double helix structure. Although her contributions were initially overshadowed, her intuitive pursuit of truth laid the foundation for one of the most significant scientific discoveries in history. Franklin's story shows that intuition not only guides decisions, but also aligns them with pivotal moments of impact. For the chosen, learning to trust intuition fully can be both liberating and transformative. This trust often requires stepping into the unknown, letting go of external validation and believing in the wisdom of the inner voice. Consider Steve Wozniak, co-founder of Apple, whose intuitive understanding of technology and user needs allowed him to design revolutionary products like the Apple I and II. Wozniak didn't follow a roadmap. He trusted his instincts about what people would value, creating innovations that transformed the way the world interacts with technology. His story is a reminder that intuition is not just a private tool, it's a bridge to realizing visions that shape the future. When the chosen ones embrace their intuition, they begin to live in alignment with their true purpose. They make decisions not from fear or obligation, but from a deep sense of what feels right. This alignment often brings a sense of peace, even in the face of uncertainty. Leonardo da Vinci, whose intuitive grasp of art, science, and engineering remains unparalleled, embodied this alignment. His works, from the Mona Lisa to his sketches of flying machines, reflect an individual deeply connected to his inner knowing. For da Vinci, intuition wasn't just a guide, it was the spark that brought his genius to life. Rather than focusing solely on the external impact of intuition, the chosen often find that this gift transforms their internal landscape. By following their instincts, they develop a stronger sense of self, a clearer understanding of their values, and a greater confidence in their abilities. The journey of trusting intuition becomes a journey of self-discovery, revealing truths about who they are and what they are meant to contribute. This unwavering trust in intuition, while powerful, often leads the chosen to confront unexpected resistance. Acting on inner wisdom can provoke opposition from those who don't see or understand the vision. Sign 8. The world always opposes. When you step into the fullness of your purpose, you disrupt the world around you. This disruption often brings resistance, unexpected opposition that questions your motives, challenges your methods, and at times tests your spirit. Yet, this resistance is not a deterrent. It is proof that you are creating change. Opposition doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It means you're on a path that matters. Like a river cutting through a canyon, your journey shapes the landscape of the world, but not without friction. For the chosen, opposition is inevitable because your energy challenges what is familiar and comfortable for others. Change, even positive change, often provokes fear in those who are unprepared to confront it. Imagine you're a lighthouse standing strong against the storm. Your light doesn't create the waves, but it exposes their chaos, making their turbulence impossible to ignore. People who resist you are often resisting their own inner turmoil projected outward onto you. The truth is, being chosen places you in a paradoxical position. You inspire transformation, but you also provoke resistance. This isn't because you are flawed, it's because you shine too brightly for some to ignore. The pages of history are filled with individuals who encountered opposition at every turn, yet persevered to create lasting change. Their stories are lesser known, but no less remarkable. Take Mary Anning, a fossil hunter and self-taught paleontologist in 19th century England. Born into poverty, Mary discovered some of the most significant prehistoric fossils of her time, including the first complete ichthyosaur skeleton. Yet because of her gender and social standing, her contributions were dismissed or stolen by male scientists. Despite this opposition, Mary continued her work, forever changing our understanding of Earth's history. Or consider Ignaz Semmelweis, a 19th century physician who noticed that doctors washing their hands reduced mortality rates in hospitals. His findings were mocked, his career suffered, and his ideas were rejected by the medical establishment. Only decades later, after his death, Semmelweis was recognized as the pioneer of antiseptic practices that saved countless lives. These stories remind us that opposition is not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of the disruptive brilliance you bring to the world. When you face unexpected opposition, it's tempting to question yourself. But opposition isn't a sign that you're failing. It's evidence that you're pushing boundaries. The resistance you encounter confirms the significance of your work. Japanese concept of kintsugi, the art of repairing broken pottery with gold, is great source of inspiration here. The cracks, once viewed as flaws, become part of the beauty of the piece. Likewise, opposition adds value to your journey. Each challenge you overcome becomes part of the unique masterpiece of your life. The question is not, why me? But rather, what does this resistance reveal about my strength and purpose? Facing opposition requires resilience, clarity, and a refusal to let external negativity define your internal truth. Here's how to rise above. Opposition can cloud your sense of direction. Reconnect with your purpose, the vision that ignited your journey. Let it act as your anchor in turbulent times. Think of Wangari Maathai, the Kenyan environmentalist and founder of the Greenbelt movement. Despite threats and imprisonment for her activism, she planted trees, restored ecosystems, and empowered women across Africa. Wangari's unwavering connection to her purpose earned her the Nobel Peace Prize, proving that staying grounded can transform resistance into triumph. When faced with opposition, practice emotional detachment. Opposition is often a reflection of others' fears, not your value. Protect your energy by focusing on what truly matters, your growth and impact. Opposition often seeks to provoke an emotional reaction. Choose instead to respond with calm and purpose. Every challenge is an opportunity to demonstrate the strength of your character. Opposition is a crucible, refining you into the person you are meant to become. It forces you to question, adapt, and evolve. Without it, your journey might remain comfortable but stagnant. Consider Sylvia Earle, an oceanographer who has spent decades advocating for marine conservation. In a world where industrial interests often take precedence over environmental concerns, Sylvia faced significant pushback. Yet, she used each instance of resistance as a learning experience, refining her advocacy and inspiring a global movement to protect the oceans. Opposition, when reframed, becomes an accelerant for your growth and a proving ground for your purpose. One of the most profound lessons about resilience comes from the growth of the bamboo tree. For years, the tree grows only underground, developing a deep and intricate root system. Then, seemingly overnight, it shoots up to towering heights. The bamboo teaches us that unseen growth prepares us for the visible impact. Opposition may seem to hold you back, but it is strengthening your roots, preparing you to rise. Facing resistance teaches you about your inner strength and the power of perseverance. It reveals that the world's approval is not a prerequisite for purpose. The power lies in understanding that you don't need to overcome everyone's doubts, only your own. Your worth is not defined by how others perceive you, but by how steadfastly you remain true to yourself. Opposition is the fire that tempers your resolve, shaping you into a force for change. It is both a burden and a gift, a challenge and a confirmation. Those who resist you may never understand your journey, but their resistance pushes you closer to your destiny. As you move forward, let opposition remind you of your strength. Let it teach you the art of perseverance and the value of standing firm in your truth. The world may not always understand your path, but the impact you create will speak for itself. Every challenge you faced has been preparing you for the next step. Opposition, as painful as it may be, is the mirror reflecting the magnitude of your calling. What gives you the courage to keep going in the face of resistance? For the chosen ones, it's a connection to something greater, a profound sense of a higher power guiding their journey. Sign 9. You feel a profound sense of power inside you. Beneath the surface of every chosen one's journey lies an unshakable connection to something greater, a force that reassures, guides, and empowers them. This connection doesn't depend on religious rituals or doctrines. It exists as a deeply personal sense of spirituality. Whether it's trust in the universe, faith in God, or belief in unseen energies, this awareness becomes the chosen's compass through life's complexities. This profound sense of a greater power is not loud or overwhelming. It often appears as subtle nudges in moments of uncertainty or a calm presence in the midst of chaos. For the chosen ones, it serves as a reminder that their path is part of a larger, sacred design, giving them the courage to continue even when the road ahead is unclear. For the chosen, spirituality transcends the boundaries of religion or culture. It is a direct connection with the divine in its purest form, one that inspires trust in life's mysterious unfolding and reveals meaning in even the smallest moments. Henrietta Lacks, an African-American woman whose cells, taken without her knowledge, became the foundation for countless medical breakthroughs, including the polio vaccine and cancer treatments. Henrietta was not a scientist, nor did she know her legacy would change medicine forever. But those who knew her spoke of her unshakable faith in God and her profound belief in the interconnectedness of life. Though Henrietta's story is tinged with injustice, her faith and enduring legacy exemplify the chosen's ability to channel greater forces into the world, even unknowingly. Her life reminds us that being chosen often means trusting in something greater than oneself, even when the full picture isn't yet visible. A profound connection to a greater power transforms chosen ones into conduits of wisdom, healing, and positivity. They don't seek to control this energy. Instead, they allow it to flow through them, touching the lives of others in transformative ways. Take the story of Corrie ten Boom, a Dutch woman who, during World War II, hid Jewish families in her home to protect them from Nazi persecution. Corrie was eventually captured and sent to a concentration camp. Despite immense suffering, she relied on her unwavering faith in God to survive and bring hope to those around her. After the war, Corrie traveled the world, speaking about forgiveness and healing. Her story is a testament to how chosen ones become vessels of divine love, bringing light even to the darkest corners of humanity. This sense of connection doesn't always manifest as dramatic miracles. Often, it works quietly, guiding chosen ones through intuition, synchronicities, and small but significant moments of clarity. Consider George Washington Carver, an agricultural scientist and inventor born into slavery. Carver credited his profound relationship with the divine for his groundbreaking innovations, which revolutionized farming in America and provided sustainable methods for struggling farmers. Carver described his inspiration as a constant dialogue with God, who revealed the secrets of nature to him in ways that transcended traditional science. Carver's story shows that this profound sense of connection is not just spiritual, it is practical. It shapes how chosen ones think, create, and contribute to the world. For chosen ones, this connection is a source of deep reassurance. Even in moments of isolation or hardship, there is a sense that they are never truly alone. This awareness becomes a wellspring of strength, reminding them that their journey is supported by forces far greater than their own. Think of Hildegard of Bingen, a 12th century abbess, mystic and composer. Despite the limitations placed on women in her time, Hildegard experienced visions she believed were divine. These visions guided her to create groundbreaking works in theology, music, and medicine, and she became one of the most influential women of the Middle Ages. Hildegard's unwavering belief in her connection to the divine gave her the courage to challenge societal norms and leave a legacy that still resonates today. For many chosen ones, their connection to a greater power gives them the ability to find meaning where others see chaos. It is this faith in the unseen that allows them to persevere, adapt, and thrive. Victor Schauberger, an Austrian naturalist and inventor who believed water was a living entity and that humanity's disregard for natural processes would lead to environmental harm. Though ridiculed for his unconventional ideas, Schauberger saw his work as a divine calling to restore balance between humanity and nature. Today, his theories are gaining renewed attention in environmental science and sustainable energy practices. Schauberger's life demonstrates how chosen ones often feel, guided by a force that helps them see the world through a lens of deeper understanding, even when others dismiss their vision. If you feel a quiet pull toward something greater, you are already in touch with this profound sense of connection. Here are ways to nurture and deepen it. Create space for silence and reflection. Whether through meditation, journaling, or time in nature, stillness helps you hear the whispers of divine guidance. Even when the road feels uncertain, trust that every step has purpose. Your connection to a greater power is your compass, guiding you toward where you're meant to be. Let your actions reflect the wisdom and love you receive. Serve as a channel for this greater power, bringing positivity and healing into the lives of others. This sense of a greater power doesn't just guide the chosen one, it connects them to the larger tapestry of life. It reminds them that their struggles, triumphs, and contributions are all part of a sacred design. As you reflect on your own connection to this greater force, remember that it is always with you, whispering encouragement in your darkest moments and amplifying your light in the brightest ones. This journey through the 9 signs has revealed one undeniable truth. Being chosen is not about perfection or ease, it's about purpose. You have felt the pull of authenticity, the trials of opposition, and the quiet wisdom of intuition. You have sought meaning, embraced truth, and uplifted others. Through it all, you've been guided by a force greater than yourself. Now, it's time to step fully into this calling. The world is waiting for you, your voice, your light, your courage. Each of the 9 signs we've explored points to one undeniable truth: you were made for a purpose. From your authenticity to your trials, your search for meaning to your profound connection to a greater power, these experiences aren't random. They are the markers of someone destined to create change. Being chosen is not about being perfect, it's about answering the call. It's about using your unique gifts to inspire, heal, and uplift the world. The resistance you face is proof of your impact. The restlessness you feel is a reminder that you are meant for more. You may not see the full picture yet, but trust that your journey has meaning. Every moment, both the struggles and the triumphs, are preparing you for something extraordinary. Never forget that this world is crying out for people like you, who are brave enough to seek truth, compassionate enough to uplift others, and wise enough to trust in something greater. Your light is needed, now more than ever. So take that step, however small. Follow your intuition, share your gifts, begin. Thank you for walking this path with me. If this message resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to join the community of the seekers. You are chosen. You are ready. The world is your stage. It is waiting for you to shine.